day 11 here, Mishmas Factory. How are you? How are you? Oh, I'm enjoying. Okay, I cheated this morning. Okay, so what was in the Advent calendar was sweet vanilla decaffeinated. I was like, oh no, 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 no. No. We need caffeine. So I actually have sweet vanilla. It's like one of the sleeves that I get very often. I just love the smell of it. I love the smell of it. Like out of all the regular flavor coffees that I get, between like the rich chocolate and the roasted hazelnut, and there's a caramel one, and the sweet vanilla, I really, really like the sweet vanilla. Anyway, so I had some regular sweet vanilla, so that's what I made. But I do also have decaffeinated, and it does taste a little bit different. It's so interesting. I didn't think I could ever tell the difference between regular and decaffeinated. I'm like, whatever, it just tastes like coffee. The sweet vanilla decaffeinated, it's great. The vanilla flavor is great, smells great, all that. It just tastes a little flatter, a little bit flatter. So I do enjoy the regular one, but I will, of course, like drink the decaffeinated late at night or whatever. Caffeine never used to bother me. It's just over the past few years. I think perimenopause, just, you know, with my sleep disruptions or whatever, I was like, okay, no more caffeine, like definitely past 3 p.m. and I definitely try not to have any past like noon. So anyway, wow, what a tangent, but I am drinking sweet vanilla regular, and it's lovely. It's lovely. It's like smooth, beautiful flavor. The aromatics are lovely. I love the vanilla scent. Really, really good. Really good. So, what's going on? What are you guys doing? Happy, oh my God, what's today? Thursday? Happy Thursday. You know, during the pandemic, we're just gonna talk about this until the day we die, aren't we? But I remember in the pandemic, I would be, you know, Marco Poloing friends, we would Zoom regularly, like everyone was just like dying for a little bit of connection. And I had a group of friends from back in New York, and we would polo, and every polo started with happy whatever day it was, because it's like Groundhog Day, and I'm kind of used to it because I work from home and weekends don't mean anything anymore. Anyway, I was kind of used to it, but the pandy really like really just brought it to the next level. So yeah, anyway, happy Thursday. It's like something I do now just as like a reminder. Are we all on the same page? Happy Thursday. And I love when I screw up. I'll like come onto a friend's Marco Polo and be like, happy Wednesday. And they'll reply and be like, Michelle, it's Friday. Like, oh, is it? All right, let's get to these Advent calendars. I'm having so much fun opening these up. And yeah, let's just get on with this day. Okay, day 11. Here we are. Ooh, we've got another one of these new fragrances. This is, ooh, I don't break it. This is Luna Maris. Let me look up the notes for this. Okay, from the site it says, I'm saying Luna Maris, it's probably Luna Marie, shines a light on mother of pearl, a delicate beauty of nature. Vibrant notes of pink peppercorn mingle with subtle chords of incense and ambery rock rose. So this is a potent fragrance that's meant to evoke the iridescence of mother of pearl. Let's see. Wow, that is so interesting. You know, leave it to Diptyque to like evoke through scent like a hard, tangible object. It's so interesting how they do that. I'm not sure that I actually visualize mother of pearl, but I feel like I visualize a crystal or something hard, like a rock, when I smell this. They also have a scent, maybe in this Advent calendar later, but an eau de papier. I think it's one that's supposed to smell like clean, white, like linen paper. And it does. It's crazy. So crazy. Anyway, this is a really interesting fragrance. Okay, 11 up here. Oh my gosh, this only has 12. I kind of forgot. Tomorrow's going to be the last day. Okay, 11. We've got the Moisture Rich Balm. Ooh, I love a good balm. Nice, so good for like cuticles and stuff. And again, it has that really fresh scent, but very subtle, very, very subtle. Oh, nice. It's not too thick. Can you see it? It's not too thick. It like absorbs quickly. Day 11. Let's see. Up there. Oh, here we are. Ooh, we've got the Professional Super Setter little setting spray. This would be great for travel. Yeah, it's only 0.5 ounces, 15 mils. Hey guys, I wanted to talk about makeup brands that we don't talk enough about. I've got 5 of them here. I am very guilty of this. I think I get swept away with new releases and, new products. They're just constantly dropping all the time. And there's a lot of amazing, not just products, but brands, I feel like that get just, like kind of swept to the side. And so I wanted to just shine a spotlight on them and share with you ones that I really, really think we need to be talking more about. It's really more a prompt for myself because I need to remind myself to really feature these products on my channel. So I'm going to go ahead and start with By Terry. Now, By Terry is a brand that I feel like we did talk a lot about. I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. They had those face palettes that everyone always wanted to get their hands on. I don't know, just for some reason, they just have sort of fallen out of favor a little bit. I'm sure many of you still have maybe some favorites from By Terry that you love. This one, the Brightening CC Serum, is probably amongst them. They had those, the Rose Lip Balm. I mean, you couldn't turn around without someone talking about that Rose Lip Balm. And I just feel like, I don't know if we've just gotten bored with them, but their products are just as good, if not better, than they were, 5 or 6 years ago when everyone was talking about them. So I just wanted to shine a spotlight on them again. So I've got the Brightening CC Serum in Nude Glow in 2.5. I'm going to use this as primer. And I'm going to use this sort of strategically. I'm not going to just kind of slather this all over my face. I'm going to use this kind of as like an underpainting kind of highlight. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit out onto the back of my hand. And I'm going to take a foundation brush and just pick up a little bit and just apply it all over my hair, apparently. Apply it onto the high points of my face fairly generously because I will be putting foundation over this. But I also really, really love their powder products. I have before me like some of their blushes and stuff. They're really soft. They're really, really beautiful. I am going to be putting the blushes on for you as well. So we're going to be kind of jumping back and forth between some of these brands that I wanted to talk about. But they also have this bronzer that I've tried. This is the Tea to Tan in medium bronze, and I like the medium more than the light. It seemed a little bit more neutral in tone, but these powders of theirs, these pressed powders, are really soft, so they just blend out really beautifully. They're easy to pick up on the brush, and they just look really, really beautiful on the skin. I can't wait to show you guys the blush. Anyway, so By Terry, but do you guys have like a favorite By Terry product, or can you like recall way back in the day when we were kind of talking about By Terry all the time? Do you guys have any theories as to why we're not talking about By Terry as much as we were? So I'm drinking some tea here. And maybe it's just the US, because I do feel like some of the influencers that I follow that are based in the UK, they still talk about By Terry a little bit more. But yeah, it's just definitely a brand I feel like I haven't heard being mentioned as often as I once did. So anyway, I happen to really, really enjoy them, and I thought I would just kind of mention them in this video. The next brand I want to talk about is the foundation I want to use, because this is one of my all-time favorite foundations. It is the Kogando Moisture Foundation. Kogando is a Japanese brand, and I love Kogando. They have really, really impeccable products. You guys have heard me talk about their natural lighting powder incessantly. I could not shut up about this powder. It's still probably my favorite loose powder. I went through like I don't know if it's a phase, but like in the summertime, I wanted to make a video about talc-free powders. This powder does have talc in it. And so I was trying all these different powders, and I kind of kept comparing it to this, and I did find some really good ones, but this is still like my hands down favorite loose powder, which I will use in just a second. But I wanted to show you this moisture foundation. I actually got a new tube because I had a couple tubes that went off, and I think I decluttered them, if not in last year's Mishmas, then the year before. But anyway, I thought I would upgrade my shade to something lighter, which is 002. I was wearing 123 or maybe even 124, and it was too dark for me. I've definitely gotten paler, as I've gotten older. It's got this pointy squeezy tube here. I'm actually going to use this Kogando foundation brush that I got years ago, years and years ago. It was probably at this point like 5 years ago. Anyway, it's a great brush. I don't even know if they make it anymore, but I'm going to use this to apply the foundation. This foundation is light coverage. It is buildable. I would say you could build it up to a medium. And what I love about it is the really natural look to this foundation. The By Terry serum is definitely giving it more of a glow than it normally has, but it just has a really lovely skin-like finish with a little bit of juiciness to it. Nothing too shimmery, nothing, like there are no shimmers in this foundation or anything like that. But Moisture Foundation is a really great name for it because it just leaves your skin looking like skin, but skin at its best. And, Kogando was created by a Japanese actress. And so these products are meant to be used, on camera, so they don't have a lot of reflection to them. And they're meant to, above all, last all day, like last through a day of filming. And I remember using this foundation for the first time, and I thought, it's so light and it's so natural. I was like, there's no way. I feel like, if you want like stage or movie ready makeup, I don't know, like my impression is it's always going to be kind of thick and cakey, like something that really is going to stay. And so I was very, very doubtful, but I was proven wrong very quickly. I remember when I tried this foundation years ago for the first time, I was like, wow, like my makeup hasn't budged. The foundation, any of the makeup I put on top of it, it seemed to help makeup last that I applied over it. It seemed to help that makeup last even longer. It's just a great, great foundation. So natural. And I think this shade is my shade now. So 002, if you use me as shade reference, is my shade now. But yeah, it just wears beautifully. It doesn't do anything funky around my nose. It doesn't do anything funky between my eyebrows, which because that moves a lot. That moves a lot on my face. So a lot of foundations kind of break up in that area. For me, it's just gorgeous. It wears beautifully, and I think it just looks great. It just looks really creamy on the skin. Despite its like light texture and its light coverage, I feel like it's really perfecting. Yeah, and it just does such a good job making my skin look really, really healthy. So that's the Kogando foundation, and we'll be using their powder, but highly recommend their powder. They have a whole battery of powders, all of which I've used, and I really, really enjoy. This natural lighting powder happens to be my favorite, but they're all really good. Their eyeshadows are nice. I mean, it is a Japanese brand, so a lot of the eyeshadows or color products are definitely on the lighter side. So if you like a very light kind of natural makeup look, I think you'd really, really like their products. But let me move on to concealer, because this is another brand that I really love. This is Make Beauty. And I think, kind of like Kogando, I was trying to figure out why we don't talk about a lot of these products. And I think for Kogando, they were carried at a lot of retailers, and they were even carried at Sephora at one point. And I don't think they are anymore, right? I don't think so. Anyway, I think that's why we just don't talk about them as much. They're not like in our face as much. We are, covering, and we being like me and other influencers or other people kind of talking about products, we tend to talk about stuff that's at Sephora, that's at Ulta, like these big places where it's easy for you to get these products. But, Make is available on the Make Beauty site. I'll link to them down below. I don't think they're available at Sephora or Ulta. But they do have their own site, and I really, really love their products. There was and I had to declutter these because they were just getting on. But let me get the proper name, because it was a lip product, and I'm actually thinking about picking up some more because I just love them. What is it called? It is their Tinted Lip Serum Balm. Do you guys remember that? If you guys have been watching me for a few years, I think maybe like 3, maybe 4 years ago, I was all over these lip serum balms, I think was like the full name. Oh my, they're so good. And there's like, you know, just they're lightly tinted. There's 4 of them. Anyway, they're really, really great. And that's kind of what turned me on to Make Beauty. But anyway, I'm going to demo their Skin Mimetic Concealer for you. This is the tube. And I just want to shout out their packaging because it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. They have this little window on most of their products. And this is actually their Radiant Skin Tint. They sent this to me and the shade is just off. You can probably tell it's very peachy. This is 1.5, so I probably need, I don't know if like the depth of the color is too deep for me. I don't think so. I think it's just too warm. So I don't know if they have like a 1.5 N or something around there. Anyway, I'll have to look at their site. But the concealer shade that I have is, oh my God, this is so small, Fair N, 01 Fair N. So this is what we're gonna use today. And it is a light texture, as you can see. I really like this doe foot applicator. Very nice. And I believe this packaging is glass. It's just really, really luxe, really luxe. I love it. I'm gonna use my BK Beauty brush here and just tap in. And I think what I love about this concealer is it's so light and you blend it in, but it just like disappears. It just blends in beautifully. And my under eye area is like perfected. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful concealer. Isn't that lovely? And that was just like 2 little swipes. So incredible. Let me show you what it looks like around my nose where I have a little bit of redness. Moisture foundation, I feel like kind of took care of a lot of it, but isn't that nice? It just disappears, but it does its job, but it just disappears. It's like, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I love that concealer. I really do like Make Beauty. There's another product in here that I want to show you when we get there. But let's use Kogendo's Natural Lighting Powder. And I'm going to use my BK Beauty 102 brush and just pick up a little bit. But I just want to show you how creamy, I'm using that word a lot to describe Kogando products, how creamy that powder leaves my skin. It doesn't look dry. It doesn't look crackly. It doesn't look like a desiccated husk. It has like a nice, really, really soft kind of pearly sheen. Isn't that so pretty? I think it's so pretty. This powder is so magical. It's so magical. It really, I don't know. I don't think any powder could ever beat this. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that's the Natural Lighting Powder from Kogando. I've been talking about it for years, right guys? Who's been watching me for my time here on YouTube? It's been like, I don't know, 8 years since I've been talking about that powder. Yeah, like 8 years. Okay. All right, sorry, I'm just drinking a lot of tea because I'm doing a lot of talking during Mishmas, and I'm deathly afraid of losing my voice because I kept having that voice problem like over the summer. It's just every time I got tired, which happened a lot over the summer, every time I got tired, my voice just started to go, and that can't happen. That can't happen during Mishmas. Okay, let's talk about bronzer. So I've got 2 options here. Well, actually I have 3 options. I did want to show you the By Terry bronzer, which I think I already did. Yeah, this is the medium one. And I liked this one. I do have a cream bronzer from Make, and this is a straight up bronzer, not a contour. It is fairly warm. Let me do a swatch for you. It is on the fairly warm side, but I love the texture of this bronzer. But we can actually use a bronzer from another brand I wanted to bring up and publicly chastise myself for not talking about them more. But this is Esum. They have this beautiful Structure Face Shaper Palette, which is part of their Artistry Palette collection. And it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous powder. It's silky smooth. I love their packaging. Like their lids just slide right off, and then you can slide them back on underneath. You know Esum, with makeup artists in mind. But yeah, I just love how thoughtful everything is. And then all the pans are refillable. I almost said rechargeable. It's refillable. And then you have this entire range. And a lot of times I'll like use this one for contour, use like this combo for bronze. Like I'll just play around with it kind of depending on what I'm feeling like my skin is looking like or the other makeup that I put on. But this is a wonderful, wonderful palette. I'm gonna be going back to them, talking about more of their artistry palettes, but Esum has some amazing stuff. You know how much I love their brushes. I've done 2 collabs with Esum talking about like my favorite brushes of theirs. You know, I love Esum and I don't talk about them enough. I really don't. So Esum, check out their artistry palettes. And I'm gonna use the Nikki LaRose N18 brush, this collab with BK Beauty. I'm gonna go into these 2 and just kind of start to warm up my face. Look at this gentle pigmentation. Just kind of putting it where the sun would hit my face. And then I'm gonna just go into this shade, which I think is the coolest one in this palette. This is pretty cool, but this is the coolest one for contour for me. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit and then just contour with this one. Blends just seamlessly, absolutely seamlessly. And all of these tones I think would work for such a huge range of skin tones. So anyway, shout out to Esum. Love their products, love these artistry palettes. And we'll get back to them. We'll get back to them when we talk about eyeshadows. Okay, now for blush, I have a couple options here. Like I said, I've got these by Terry powder blushes, but I do also have some cream stick blushes from Make Beauty. And these are really, really beautiful. So we've got, they're called the Cream Stroke. Let me do some swatches there. So this one is Major Mauve, and the texture is really creamy. Then look at this packaging. The Make Beauty packaging is like chef's kiss. Okay, this one, look at that. This one is Chroma. And then this one, which is the one I've used the most, you could probably guess that, is Hyper Nude. Isn't that stunning? And then let me show you these by Terry ones. We'll do some swatches. So this by Terry is Pink Passion. I'll swatch this way. Ooh, so soft and buttery. And then this one is Coral Crush. Here's Coral Crush. And then here is Rosy Romance. Isn't that stunning? There's Rosy Romance. So what do you guys think? I really want to put on this Hyper Nude again. Let's just go for it. Let's do Hyper Nude. And I do want to show you how nicely these cream blushes apply over powder. So I like to take a brush like this one, BK Beauty 116, because it's dense. The hair lengths aren't that long, so they're not gonna be too floppy. You have a little bit of control, and there's like a domedness to it versus like a foundation brush, which is kind of similar, but it's a flat top, and then you can see the ferrule kind of curls in, which keeps the bristles even stiffer. We want a little bit of movement because, you know, we're going in for a blush. So let me pull out Hyper Nude here. And what I'm gonna do is, because I already have powder down, I don't wanna go in, you know, drawing on me. I'm gonna go ahead and swipe the brush over the blush, and then I'm gonna pounce. Now, even though this blush, I think, applies over powder beautifully, I don't want to like press my luck. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't wanna sit there and like just swipe, 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 swipe. So I like to pounce when I'm applying cream over powder. Just gonna take my finger, just blend it out a little bit more. Isn't that nice? This color is so good. It's so, so good. It's like the perfect like cool tone nude. Oh, I love it. I love it. So those are the Make Cream Stroke cream blushes. And now for highlighter. Out of all the brands I'm talking about today, I don't actually have that many highlighters, but I do have one from By Terry. This is their Starlight Glow CC highlighter in 1 Golden Glow. And it is, well, look at this packaging, gorgeous. And then it's one of those baked gel powder formula. Look at that. Oh my goodness, this is so shiny. And I'm not even sure if they still have this, but they usually come out with something like this for the holidays. Look at that. It's so wet, 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 wet. In fact, I'm gonna look this up right now because I wanna see what they have available. Oh, they definitely don't have this anymore, at least not on their site. It could be at some retailers. But the only highlighters they have listed is the Brightening CC Serum, which is a really nice, like light liquid highlighter if you're into that. They do have the Brightening CC Liquid Blush, which comes in that pen. And I really liked the peach shade. That was really, really beautiful. I have since decluttered those because they were a cream product and they were pretty old. And then they have a Brightening CC Palette Sunny Flash. I don't remember any of these being like an out and out highlighter. That light shade in the palette out of the four, wasn't that, I don't remember that being that shiny. I remember all of those powders being like relatively matte, at most maybe like a satin. Anyway, that's what's listed in their regular makeup. Let me look at their holiday. Oh, they have holiday gift sets. Let's see if they did anything there. No, I don't see anything. Oh, that makes me sad. That makes me sad because their holiday highlighter, which I feel like they usually do, always like stunning like this, absolutely stunning. I'm gonna use this Rephr 38 brush, which has like a really light touch at the top here, and just pick up a little bit. Yeah, a little bit is all you need. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is like an old school highlighter. An old school highlighter. Gorgeous. Okay, now for brows, I'm actually going to use the Make Beauty Infinite Hold Sculpting Brow Tint. I have it in cool brown, right? Is that what it is? Yes, cool brown. And again, another beautiful package. Look at this red. And then let me show you this tidy spoolie. So it's actually pretty long, but the bristles are really, really short, which I like. So it has a nice soft tint to it, nothing goopy or too wet. And it just does a nice job kind of softly filling in and thickening my brows. Isn't that nice? Yeah, I really like this brow gel too. It's really nice. It's like very middle of the road. It's not as like sticky as a gel, but it's not like quite as thick and dry as a pomade. It's like in between. Really nice. Okay. Let's move on to eyes. So Make Beauty has these multi-chromatic metal reflecting eyeshadows, and I have the shade Quartz. And when I tell you how absolutely stunning this eyeshadow is, I couldn't emphasize the word stunning enough for you. So the texture of this, it's almost like a cream. It's super duper silky. Look at this color, Quartz. Could you die? I could die. Look at this. First of all, you guys who know me, this color is so me. I love this taupey color. It has, let me just blend it out a little bit more. Look at that little bit of undertone there. It's a little bit rosy versus peach, because I was like, is this kind of like a Cosmopolite? The Dior Cosmopolite that we all love. I feel like that one has more of like a peach undertone. This one has more, I don't know, it's like a little bit more red in there. It's a little bit more of a pink undertone. So it kind of stays true to this cooler toned eyeshadow. Oh my God. So we're going to put this on. So I thought I would start with the Esum Balance Palette. So their Balance Eyeshadow Palette, it's #1 in their Artistry palette line. And look at this, just this gorgeous matte shades. This, I think, belongs in every single makeup lover's collection. This is like a wonderful foundation palette for any look. You can build upon any of these shadows here. You can just kind of start and start adding a little bit of dimension to your eyes with any of these shades. Just so gorgeous. So I've got my Rephr number 15 brush. Knowing I'm going to be using that Make shadow on top, I'm going to stick with something cool here. So I think I'm going to mix these two shades, this one, and actually I'm just going to stick with this one. Now that I see in the camera, it looks cool enough. So let me just pick up a little bit of that. you know, kind of start to carve out my eye area here. Look at how beautifully that blends. The level of pigmentation is perfect. You can build on it. And none of these shadows are ever a surprise. I'm never like, oh, this really warmed up on my lid. Never. There we go. All right, I'm gonna keep it simple and put this one away, even though obviously you could create an entire look just from that palette if you like an all matte look. They do also have, let me just show you, their number 2 palette, which is stunning too. This is their Intensity eyeshadow palette, and this has all shimmers in there. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous. So these 2 palettes together, Let's get to this Make quartz. I'm going to grab, I could probably use my finger, but let's try. I'm gonna use the Refer number 2 brush. I think when I have used this shadow, I've just used my finger, but I wanna use a brush and see. So this flat shader should be a good match for a shadow like this. It's a little bit creamy, it's like thick. It's okay, it's okay. It's a very light kind of application. I'm gonna use my finger. That's the only way to get the intensity that I like with this shadow. Like that. Oh yeah, so pretty. So, so pretty. These quartz eyeshadows, perfect for the holidays. There's a bunch of different shades. Of course, this is the one that caught my eye. I love it. Stunning. I love this shadow so much. So, so much. So easy to apply with your fingers. Isn't that pretty? I think it makes like a really nice impact, but it doesn't look too overdone. I think it's great for the holidays and all year round. Now, the 5th brand I wanted to talk about was Suku. Now, Suku, I do feel like we talk a little bit about, you know, here on YouTube, but because they're not sold in the US, and you have to order them from a company that is overseas that will ship to the US, I think that's fairly prohibitive. I think also a lot of Suku products come in and out of stock quite often. Either they're limited edition and then they're gone forever, or even like things that are part of their core line, I feel like go out of stock, and then it takes a while for things to kind of come back in. And then, you know, we're consumers, and it's like, well, if I'm looking for a certain thing, I'm going to go and buy it someplace else. So unfortunately, I think Suku is a brand that definitely kind of falls to the wayside. We definitely don't talk about them enough, but their products are impeccable, absolutely impeccable. And I love their eyeshadows. I love their blushes. You guys know I've been going on and on about their blushes for years now, and their eyeshadows. Their foundations are really, really gorgeous. Their lip products, which is what I'm gonna use, are really great. They have such a beautiful range of lip products. But one of my favorite products of theirs, which is, I don't know, it's so interesting, but it's their microfine eyeliner. And I have it in the shade number 2, which is a very, very deep brown. It's basically like a black. But there's something about this micro tip that, I don't know, it feels or seems even smaller than other micro fine eyeliners that I've used. Yet there's something about this eyeliner that doesn't feel delicate. I don't know how else to explain it, but some other like microfine eyeliners, I feel like if I press a little bit too hard, I use it a little bit too aggressively, it kind of starts to crumble, it falls apart, the tip breaks off. I've never had that problem with this eyeliner, and I use my eyeliners all the same. I go in and I tight line, underneath my eyelashes, and a lot of other microfine eyeliners, they'll just kind of like crumble. And yeah, and this one is just, look how fine that eyeliner is. And so when I just want a little bit, I don't want a really strong eye look, this is absolutely perfect. So I wanted to mention that and introduce Suku into this video at this point, but I am gonna use one of their lip products. So one of my favorite lipsticks is the Suku Moisture Glaze lipstick. And they come in this refillable case. You just pull the tube out. And I'm trying to find the name or the number of this shade. I think that's the lot number. Oh, I think it's number 1. It's number 1. Sorry, it's very small over here. Anyway, this shade, I absolutely love this number one. It's a really beautiful neutral. And this formula is just like a very creamy, like ultra creamy lipstick. And it does leave a little bit of a glaze on your lips. It's kind of like a little bit of a thicker version of the Chanel Rouge Coco Flash, which you guys know I love. The pigmentation is there, but the finish is so gorgeous. And yeah, these just have like a little bit more density to them. I feel like the Rouge Coco Flash, they kind of like almost like melt onto your lips and get kind of like thin feeling. These definitely have like a little bit more of like a thickness to them. Anyway, you can tell actually how soft they are. They're so soft. They feel so great on the lips. I love this shade. I feel like this shade goes with anything. It's just stunning. Anyway, that is today's makeup look using beauty brands that I feel like we need to be talking more about. I was so happy to be able to shine a spotlight on these 5 brands that I love. Esum, By Terry, Kogando, Make Beauty, and Suku. I feel like we need to be talking about them more. I feel like I need to be talking about them more. They're really, really fantastic. Anyway, please let me know down below in the comment section what some beauty brands you absolutely love and you just never hear anyone talk about them. I would love to know. I would love to know. And please leave like your favorite product or whatever, anything that I can like run out and pick up. I would love to be able to. All right, guys, that's it for today's Mishmas video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in tomorrow's Mishmas video. Bye.